So now from last time, we've added the back cinch. He's hung out the saddle a couple times, not tons, but a few times on and off, so I knew that I could trust him pretty well there. He really hasn't escalated with the saddle. He's done really, really well, just handling everything. So today's going to be a little bit of desensitization with the saddle on. And you're going to notice that I didn't put a lead rope on to do this. If he didn't want to be here, he wouldn't be. I wasn't making him. So if I can get to a point where he's letting me saddle him, just standing here, he's coming, he's watching, he's waiting for me, I pretty much know that this horse wants to be in this. And if you're having a really hard time getting your horse to do that, there's a good chance something's going to happen when you go to ride, or maybe they're just not mentally ready, or you need to do a little bit more groundwork with them. If they want to hang out here and find out what we're doing, they will. It's up to him whether he's going to hang out with me or he can leave. There's nothing holding him here. I'm not making him stay. And that's what practical liberty work is. It's not that we don't use ropes. It's that they have an option to leave or an option to stay and work with you. And once they've just chosen to stay and work with you, you know you're going to have a really, really good horse. So some of this stuff, I might choose to use a lead rope or not. This really depends on how well he does. And if he feels like he wants to go for a little run around, that's fine too. If he feels ready to participate, he can. If he wants to run around, he can. You're right there, right? You chose to leave? That's okay. Not going to punish him for it. I am going to make it my idea. So I'll encourage him to go on, I'll encourage him to move. I'm not attacking him, I'm not going after him. But it sometimes be a bit much for them. So if you're newer to horses and horse training, you'll know that horses' eyes don't communicate to each other. So whatever they see on the left, they can't say, oh yeah, I seen that already on the right. Each eye has its own job, so they can't cross-communicate. So when you say, my horse, you turn around and he spooked like he had never seen that, he literally has never seen that. That's why we spend so much time training on both sides. I'm making sure that both eyes see everything. Both eyes are comfortable with everything. This is his sensitive side, so I'm just going to encourage him to lead me on this side. He'd prefer me to be on the other side. So that's the same thing. This side, he's a little bit more reactive. He's a bit more of a right brain horse. And on the right side, he's pretty calm and relaxed. I'm going to tap the saddle just a little bit. All new things for him. He's never seen that. I'm going to go to the back, being very careful that I don't get it. Bring it back up. Double check that everything's still tight. I'm going to pump up a bit. You know, that's what he's going to feel when he goes for his first canter. He's going to feel everything bumping him, everything pinching, everything flapping, everything, all different feelings. My saddle pad didn't land in the best spot ever. He's so skinny, I'm going to go up one more hole here. Just to make sure he can actually feel it. The worst thing that we want is this ever to be too long. They can actually get a back foot in, and when they're young, they're actually really athletic. So it seems ridiculously impossible. If they ever get a foot in there, they'll pretty much be lame by the time you get them untangled, and they'll scare the living heck out of themselves. So tighter is better. We don't want it so tight that it's scaring them, but I do want to bump them here. I want to up the end. I want to shake some things. Make him feel the saddle. Make a lot of noise. You can see how quickly you want to put me on the other side. That's fine. I'm just going to relax. Go back to something you can handle. Comfortable, but I do want to push that limit. I don't want him to sit here like a kitten, all nice the whole time, and then something like that accidentally happens. Now you can see he's a little more nervous when I grab this stirrup. So he knows that something now could happen. I definitely don't want the first time he feels that to be an accident. So if you can see, I'm just pulling. I'm just pulling on the stirrup itself, and when I did that, I just did this. So nothing ever hit him, just so that you know the process. I'm not pulling this back and letting it whack him in the sides. I hope to be a good rider when I ride him, so I'm not super worried about not controlling my legs. But I'm not whacking him with it. I don't want him to have anything that the saddle hurts him. But I do want him to realize that maybe the saddle makes a little bit of noise in itself, and that's okay. And then that's way better. So even though this is his less reactive side, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily easier. In fact, it can actually be harder. This is the side, if he ever decides to fight me a little bit, it's going to be on this side. If he ever decides to kick out at me a little bit, it's going to be on this side. So just because he handles things and likes me on this side a little more, don't think, oh yeah, this side's easy, or this is the easy side. He knows what to expect, but on this side he does have a little bit more fun. He's getting in his own head a little bit here. So we're just going to bring it back. So how I know is he's not releasing his jaw right now. This is all clamped. He's a little bit worried. His neck got a little bit higher. It's a little tighter. So as I'm rubbing him here, I'm waiting for a little exhale, a little lick and chew, a little relax. I don't really like going forward until I get that, because if they get in a state of panic, they can't learn anymore. So they shut down, things happen. I would really like to see him just think about something else and relax. Tickle his chin a little bit here. Give him something else to think about. Forward, we still clamped in the jaw. So I just want him to relax. So you can see he's doing that so willingly, but he's still just a little bit clamped up. Belly again. Channel that really long. like I said, just because that's the easier side that he wants me on, it's also a little bit of a stronger side, so he's just not giving it up quite as easily, and that's totally fine. That tells me that I got a few more sessions of this before we're ever going to move on, and that's totally okay. What I want today is to show you guys, and so you can see that this side he's accepted it. It's pretty good. Good boy. That side's a little harder, but that was the best one yet. So he is accepting it and understanding it on this side. Good boy. So that's really good for our first session of that. And don't expect it to be perfect. That really honestly was close to perfect. I mean, he didn't go bucking off. He didn't kick at me. He didn't really freak out or lose it. There's the licking and chewing. Now that we're talking about how amazing he is, eh? Now we get a little bit of tongue there. But he actually handled everything really, really well, right? My expectations are pretty low, but my hope is high. This horse is showing every time that we come out here just how smart he is, just how sweet he is, and how much he's trying. So I don't get upset that there's some little spot that's bothering him. In fact, I actually really like finding those little weak spots. That means it's not going to sneak up on me later, and just like I said, you didn't want that to be an accident the first time. So if I was just to hop on this horse and hope for the best, and maybe he spooked and that sound happened, there's a good chance I'm going to get bucked off. We've taught him how to buck now, and it's just a bad experience all around. Whereas that little bit that I did, that wasn't a bad experience. He's learned now, oh yeah, that happens, and that's totally okay. Nothing hit him, nothing was actually hurting him, it was just a little bit scary. So just keep working at that. Keep working with your horses. I'll probably put a few more sessions of that on before we do another video. And you'll probably have to do the same. You're gonna have to know your horse. Is he standing here with me? Is he waiting for me? Or is he walking off? And that's a really good part. Will he let me saddle him just over by the saddle rack? No, not tied. Do you have a broke horse that won't let you do that? Because I bet there's a lot of broke horses out there that won't go and stand there nice like he just did. So those are just little things to be picky in your training and in your program and want for your horse, whether they're broke or whether they're a young horse. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk soon. Bye.